G'day, welcome to Rational Emotive Behaviour Therapy or Rational Emotive Behaviour Education Australia or REBT Oz. This is Julio and I'm here to talk about one particular success helper on the Go Spaghettio success helper chart. It's called I'm Worthwhile Crocodile. It's the red one. Indulge me a moment while I repeat a slide or a quotation from Donald Hoffman that I had on previous videos, but I think it's a really good one. And it really does underpin what it is I'm talking about in terms of early childhood psychological resilience and social emotional learning. What we perceive is never the world directly, but rather our brain's best guess at what that world is like. A kind of internal simulation of an external reality. Still, we bank on the fact that our simulation is a reasonably decent one. It's a great quote because it really reinforces the idea that the world that we perceive is a construct. We've constructed what we believe to be true about ourselves, the world, and other people. And Albert Ellis talks about rational thinking, and Donald Hoffman would agree that the best simulation of reality holds us in good stead. However, if we construct attitudes and beliefs and develop habits of mind that don't reflect what reality actually is, we can be in deep trouble. So I'm going to focus on the red success helper competency or capability or philosophical outlook called I'm Worthwhile Crocodile. And I have spoken to colleagues who've said, well, this is all kind of quite quirky and it's interesting to the kids, but we do that in lots of different ways. And I think that's because they don't get a handle, or they haven't got a handle on what underpins and what the I'm Worthwhile Crocodile competency or way of looking at things is. So I'm going to focus on that because of the 6 success helper competencies I talk about. They all have their own importance, of course, but in terms of Rational Emotive Behaviour Therapy and Albert Ellis's ideas, I think it's the most important one in the sense that without understanding and appreciating what this is and practicing it every day until you actually believe it, I think it, in terms of psychological resilience, it is the big one, I think. So just to revisit the Go Spaghettio success helper chart for a moment, there are 6 competencies. Each represent a way of thinking, feeling, and acting that the research and theorists suggest hold us in good stead in the longer term, well, and in the present too. We want our young learners to develop capacities and understandings about themselves, the world, and others that's going to motivate them and help them and support them on their journey forward. At this stage of their development, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, they don't yet have the capacity to think about their thinking, or metacognition as we call it. That comes later on when they're 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. But it's important to equip them with the skills, the tools, if you like, to use when they get to that point, to be able to reflect on how they feel and how they behave, and to identify what it is that they might be thinking that's causing possible angst, and for them to reset or review the way that they're thinking and put them back on psychological well-being track, if you like. So we're going to focus on the I'm Worthwhile Crocodile success helper capability because it's a really important one, and we really need to get a handle on what that means, and so that we can teach it effectively and reinforce the ideas on a daily in a daily way. So here we go. This is the red success helper. It's called I'm Worthwhile Crocodile. What does it mean? I'm worthwhile crocodile thinking is what Albert Ellis describes as unconditional self-acceptance, meaning that our worth, there are no conditions on our worth. We're born with it, he says, and no one gave it to us, so therefore no one can take it away, and yet we allow this to happen. So unconditional self-acceptance is the firm belief that I'm okay, even if you don't think so. I'm okay even when I fail. I am not what I do. I'm okay irrespective of my failings or my successes. I'm neither good or bad. I'm worthwhile. I reflect on times when children have come to me and told me that they believe that they're no good, that they're bad, that they're naughty, that they're dumb and that they're stupid. They've learnt that. And it's irrational. And it suggests conditional self-acceptance. Albert Ellis calls this a sickness, really, conditional self-acceptance or self-esteem. When we talk about self-esteem, Albert Ellis argues that if we only feel good when we are well esteemed by others, or when we're doing well at things, then he calls that conditional self-acceptance. So I've trained myself to get rid of the notion of self-esteem, and I use unconditional self-acceptance. And if a kid asks me if they're a good person, I say, no, you're not good and you're not bad, you're worthwhile. So that's what the Red Success Helper capability or outlook or personal philosophy means. So thank you, Albert Ellis. So in terms of beliefs, actions and feelings, what is the Red Success Helper? I'm worthwhile crocodile. And of course, we want to teach our young learners that thinking, feelings and behaving are all interconnected. You don't do one without the other. If something happens and we feel we have an emotional behavioral response to what happens, that's modified, regulated, if you like, by the way we think about things. And quite often children, we grow up believing that when things happen, they make us feel as we feel, and they haven't been acquainted with the idea that there's some thinking involved, the way we perceive things. As man thinketh, so is he. It says in Proverbs somewhere, in the Bible. Hamlet said, "Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so." So true. So what is Red Success Helper? I'm worthwhile crocodile thinking. Well, it's thinking that I'm okay even if you don't think so. It's believing that I'm not what I do. I can fail at something, but I'm not a failure. I can succeed at something, but I'm not a success. I'm a worthwhile person capable of many things. I can fail, but I'm not a failure. I'd like your approval. This is important. I might like your approval. I might like you to think that this presentation is okay and it's not sending you to sleep. And I'd like you to obviously find value in this. But you know what? If it's not forthcoming, I'm not going to self-down about that. So I'd like your approval, but I don't need it. However, I will strive to get better at what I'm doing. So I hope to improve as we go along. So, Red Success Helper, thinking, feeling, and actions. And as I said before, have a Go Spaghettio. Success Helper thinking is acquainting children with their thinking nature. The idea that they think, that stuff happens inside their head, that they're making decisions. They can make okay decisions about themselves, or they can make not okay decisions about themselves. Very important insight to have. So Frere Jacques, to the tune of Frere Jacques, this is an example of a song that we sing with the kids to reinforce this idea that I'm okay no matter what. So it goes, I'm okay, no, how does it go? I am okay, yes I am, all of us are okay, yes we are, This is to reinforce the idea that there are no conditions on your value as a human being. You're okay no matter what. and a very important insight for children to have and to practice and to make a habit of thinking. So when we talk about success helper thinking, we're talking about habits of thinking. Excuse me. We're talking about growth mindset. We're talking about positive habits of mind. We're talking about rational thinking. Success helper thinking is rational thinking. Brain friend thinking is rational thinking. Brain friend thinking makes brain friend feelings and brain friend actions. So that's what we want to impart to our young learners. And of course, we have the overall Have a Go Spaghettio theme, sung to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And this is about essentially learn to unconditionally accept yourself and know that you're okay no matter what. And whilst you might want my approval, you don't need it for you to be an okay person. Sometimes hard for people to understand and to internalize when you've spent a lifetime listening to how other people might assess your value, your worth. It's about time we stopped accepting people's estimations of us and focus on our own estimations of ourselves. So it's have a go spaghettio. You can do your best, you know. Clap your hands and touch the sky. Give it a try, banana pie. Have a go spaghettio. You can do your best, you know. Great to see the kids jump about the classroom and sing this very simple song, but it has a very substantial message underlying it. And that is, of course, I'm worthwhile crocodile thinking. I'm always okay, no matter what. Until next time, thank you for listening. Oh, I forgot, of course. The Have a Go Spaghettio, I'm worthwhile crocodile habit of thinking, believing, is called Unconditional Self-Acceptance. Now, Albert Ellis introduced this idea. Up until then, we were talking about self-acceptance, but I believe Dr. Ellis introduced the idea of unconditional, meaning there are no conditions on your value. So that QR code, I'm hoping, will take you to something somewhere that I've written on unconditional self-acceptance. So I mean it this time when I say thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. All the best. Bye.